This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at ramseysolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Let's go to Baltimore, Maryland, and Amy joins us there. Amy, how can we help?
Hi, George and Ken. I'm so excited to be talking to you.
You bet. What is going on?
Well, my husband and I, a little backstory, I'll keep it quick though. We've always been pretty frugal, especially in the early years. We had one car, one cell phone, things like that. But as he started making more and we had kids, lifestyle creep kept in a little bit, and we didn't ever spend more than we earned, but we got very complacent and kind of lazy with budgeting as we earned more money. So I'm really, really trying to dial everything in. I have some big goals that I want us to hit in the next 10 years, but I'm trying to clean up some of the lazy investing we've done over the last few years and dial it in more to Roth. So neither of us have a Roth IRA. I do have some old mutual funds that I've contributed to just a little here and there over the years, and I have those total $20,000. And I have a $10,000, $11,000 in I-bonds. And really, I want to know the process to close those out and to start investing in the Roths for both my husband and I. But I know the cap is only $7,000 for that. So I'm kind of wondering if I should just pull $14,000 out for this year and then leave the rest of it until next year, or if I should just close everything out all at once and just put it in a high yield savings account and be done with it until I can invest it again next year. Does that make sense?
Yes. And so you guys are debt-free?
We are debt-free. We have about $230,000 in equity in our house. We have a $30,000 emergency fund, and we started saving for our kids' college. We do have a 457 plan through my husband's work. So for that, we contribute $900 monthly. And if I cap out one of the Roth IRAs at $7,000 a year and contribute $200 to another one every month, that would put us at the 15% investing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering, do you use future income to invest instead of cashing all of these out and moving them into investments? What is your next future goal? Could you knock down the mortgage with this money instead?
So, well, that is one of our goals. So right now, our big sinking fund goals, we have to finish saving for our kids' school as a priority every year. They're all in private school. And for our district, now that it's not crazy expensive, but that is like the very first thing we have to meet every year. So past that, though, our goals are dumping everything we can into the house. So I just wasn't sure with as far as the Roths go or anything like that, if we should just stick with our income or if I should cash those out. Because, I mean, as I started reading over the past few months, I've binged. I don't know how many episodes, and I've read probably 10 books on investing, and my brain is just spinning as to what to do with these accounts since technically they're not tax advantaged.
Sure. And that's okay. I don't want you to beat up. You guys have done a great job saving. You're completely debt-free. You have an emergency fund. Whether the money is sitting in a Roth or it's sitting in I-bonds right now, it's not a deal breaker. And you guys are young. How old are you two?
So I am 35 and my husband is 38.
Okay. And so we still have another, 25, 30 years here of investing to catch up. And I also assume you guys have the highest income you've had in your working life.
Yes.
What's your household income?
So I think this past year we were at 145. This year will be a little higher because I did pick up a full extra job over this past year, and then next year I'm going to be leaving that job.
Okay. And you guys have nothing right now in retirement accounts except for that 457?
So the 457, we have about $38,000 in that.
Okay.
And it's $900 going into that every month.
Got it. Well, I just want to encourage you.
He has a pension.
Oh, great.
He'll have a pension. So on top of all of this, he will have a pension at 62 2.5% of his salary when he retires, and that also upon his death would transfer to me as well.
Okay. Well, I would just go ahead and start investing 15% of your future income into retirement and use that money maybe to cover the upcoming school expenses, maybe use it to knock down the mortgage a little bit and get ahead on that goal. Because just looking at the numbers, at age 35 to 62, you start with zero in that account. You invest 15% of 150, which you guys said you'd probably make more than that. At a 10% return, you'd have over $3 million at 62 in that one account. At 9%, it's still $2.5 million.
In the Roth, if we started today?
Yes. And that's, so if it's in the Roth portion, you've already paid taxes. So that's essentially $2-3 million of net income that you've already been taxed on that you can use to live.
Okay, so I guess there's my next question. Should we max out the 457 plan so he's able to access that whenever he leaves the police department, and that he would be able to access immediately, although I think he plans on getting another job when he retires from the PD. So with that, would you recommend maxing out the Roths before and put the remainder of the 15% towards the 457, or the majority in the 457 and then the remainder in the Roth?
I prefer the Roth personally. I think there's more advantages to it, and it's more in your control. And so I would max that out before moving back to the 457. And
just let those mutual funds or I-bonds go unless we choose to dump those towards the house then?
Yes. Either use that for the school expenses or use it to knock down the mortgage, because I think having that nice chunk to knock down the mortgage principal is going to give you some pep in your step as you get closer to that finish line.
That's very true. I do have a quick question on the capital gains tax involved in the mutual funds. I've never pulled anything out of there, and I did contribute about $200 a month to it for maybe like 4 years or so, but I've never pulled anything out. So the capital gains tax on that, how does that work?
Well, it'll be dependent on your income and tax bracket. And so you'll be at long-term capital gains since it's been in there so long. So it'll be a lower amount. It's not going to be at your normal income tax level, likely closer. It'll likely be 15% with your income.
Okay.
So I would get connected with a tax pro. We have them at RamseySolutions.com. And these are Ramsey trusted tax pros that can help you figure out what the tax burden will be. Make sure you're prepared to pay that as part of whatever your next financial step is.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, way to go, Amy.
She had her list of questions ready to go.
That was impressive. I mean, I feel like we answered more there in that 4 minutes.
It was like a special segment. It was like George is in the hot seat. Let's go. Let's get
nervous.
How many questions could we get in there?
But I mean, zooming out of all of that, she was saying we were doing a lot. We were a little bit sloppy. Yeah. We were doing a lot of good things, but we didn't feel confident. And I think there's such power in just simplicity and just doing one thing and doing it really well. And that's what I love about the baby steps. Get out of debt, get the emergency fund, invest 15% into retirement. And we have an order to that madness. It's match beats Roth beats traditional. If you have the employer match, take that, because that's 100% free money. You doubled your money instantly. And then the Roth portion is used after-tax money, grows tax-free, and that can be a beautiful thing in retirement when Uncle Sam already got his chunk of change on the front end. Yeah. Then finally moving on to the traditional accounts. And so it's that simple, but it's that hard to stay focused in a world where there's 1,000 options and you're hearing all kinds of things on TikTok and from your brother-in-law on what you should be doing. And Ken, did you hear about I-bonds? The treasury bills right now are at all-time highs, and you got to get in and you got to do a brokerage account because these funds, it just becomes overwhelming. Yeah. And so when you look at if you peeled back Dave and I's financial plan, it looks oddly boring. Yeah. Here's a 401k, here's a Roth IRA, here's some paid for real estate. Nothing fancy. Yep. But it also gives people great confidence that you can build wealth without being a financial genius.
It's absolutely right. Simple, slow, steady. It always wins the race.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I think that's how it goes, right?
Great. Very good.
Keep it stupid,
Very
simple.
Good.
I'm too stupid to remember.
You channeling your inner Gene Simmons there. Keep your tongue in your mouth, George. Nobody wants to see that.